It is the startling intersection where Canada's labour force meets a blaring new reality. Precarious employment. Half of Canadians who are working are living in uncertainty. Not sure how long their jobs, their pay, or even their schedules will last. And that trend is peaking in the most unexpected of places. Jacob Bond and his wife Joanna had settled into an uneasy rhythm. He worked on contract as a technical equipment installer, she as a part-time nutritionist and college instructor. Until suddenly, after 8 years, his contract was not renewed, and finding another one became a full-time job.
I'd say probably about 200 job applications over the last 2 years, and I think I've gotten about 5 responses, and 3 of them were from a computer.
The most difficult part about this is the uncertainty. The uncertainty of knowing whether or not you're going to be able to pay the mortgage.
Recent reports confirm the bonds are hardly the exception. Up to 50% of insecure workers are middle-income households earning between $50,000 and $100,000 a year. Middle-class families who make a decent living until suddenly they don't.
What's the biggest stress right now?
It's money.
Money, for sure.
Yeah, we're sort of at a bit of a tipping point, I think.
Wayne Luchuk studies precarious employment and its impact on that traditional cornerstone, the middle class.
And our research is showing that people do think twice about starting a relationship. They think twice about certainly starting a family. And even if they have started a family, the challenge they have of buying a house, of knowing, can I actually take this kind of a commitment on?
Luchuk says the era of permanent jobs with benefits is fading fast and says Canada needs to bolster training programs, unemployment insurance, public health benefits to help bridge people living from one job to the next. As for Bond, money was tight for a while. After 2 years of looking, 2 years of wondering if he would have to sell his home, he finally found a job, installing home entertainment systems. But he hasn't found a sense of certainty.
It's been emotional. It's been like a huge growing and learning experience. You got to start over. I don't know. I'd never experienced that before. And I probably will again.
On that, he can be certain. Joanna Rumeliotis, CBC News, Burlington, Ontario.
How many times in the last year or so have you wondered, what if it happens to me? What if I lose my job? I mean, who could blame you? The economic buzzword of the day? Precarious. Precarious jobs, precarious pay. And when we try to explain the uncertainty or the lack of job security, we usually use numbers, percentages. But you know when it really hits home? When you meet the people. Take Natalie Lagana.
Stand up. We the people. Get your hands up. Unless you're in handcuffs, I want to see you amped up. We the people.
In a nutshell, these people are protesting the precarious economy. They want a higher minimum wage.
When I say 15, y'all say there it is, 15.
This rally is the first time Canadians have joined the American movement, Fight for 15. The reason I'm here is I'm looking for a hidden part of Canada's workforce, the temp worker. People who get their jobs through an agency. They usually make minimum wage, have very little security, and even though there's a growing number of temp workers in the country, they're almost invisible. I meet Justin Kong, who used to do temp work.
We've been trying for days and days to get temp workers to talk to us. They won't. Why is that?
That tells you how difficult the conditions that temporary agencies workers are facing, right? They're scared that they might get fired, right? People are relying on their wages to pay rent, keep food on the table. So in that situation, would you step out to talk to a reporter? I think many people won't because they're scared, right?
In the end, I meet someone at the rally who is so fed up, she puts her fight above her job. Oksana Fernando is a temp worker at a Toronto group home.
Do you worry that you'll lose your job from talking to us?
I don't want to think like that, but if I do, then I made the choice that, yeah, like it has to come an end, that there shouldn't be people treating like so poorly when we want to work and we have to work as a team.
Oksana tells me that she's had the same job for 4 years, and she still makes minimum wage. I mean, that might get anyone protesting.
So as an agency person, where are you in that hierarchy?
We are at the low, like all the way at the bottom, because like sometimes people don't even know our name. Like they address us as like, oh, agency, can you come here? Like
they call you agency instead of Oksana.
Correct.
Wow, it's shocking, really.
It is. It's like I've been living like this like past 4 years, and it is like it doesn't call living. It's like I'm just surviving because I need the food to go in my system to just breathe. But this is not living. I will not consider this is like a living.
Well, yeah. I mean, Oksana doesn't go out. She walks instead of taking the bus. She depends on food banks. And it's not like she doesn't work. Oksana's schedule will make you want to lie down. From Friday morning to Sunday night, she works a full 48 hours.
My shift starts like 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. So it's like 16 hours. After like 2 shifts of 16 hours, Sunday is very, very difficult. Like I could feel my body is trying to give up on me. My feet is like so heavy and my arm already started aching. So I'm just like surviving like moment to moment. I'm like mostly calculating like, okay, so that many hours I did for this week, so how much money that means after tax, so this much. So am I covered my rent? Yes, okay, thank God. At least I'm not getting any eviction note.
Here's the real eye-opener. Oksana came to Canada 12 years ago from Bangladesh, and there's no real sugarcoating it. She thinks we're hypocrites.
We shouldn't be like treated like this because Canada goes to Bangladesh garments like, oh, they are getting so much little pay. We will not take garments product from you. But people in Canada working so bad condition, like what about us? Why so many people in Canada had to struggle where Canadian government is helping other poor country? It's like, so we are invisible? Like,
get your hands up. I must you in handcuffs. I want to see you hands up.
Invisible, and yet they're everywhere. There are now 2 million temp workers across Canada. And even though she's the one who could lose, Oksana has given them a face.
That's what they wanted to do.
In the dictionary, here's what it says about precarious: dangerously likely to fall or collapse. In Canada, the word now describes a large and growing part of our labor force. And here's the thing. When you meet the people who live it every day, you realize how close it is to all of us. Nick Purdon, CBC News, Toronto.